Early humans survived by recognizing visual cues. Color is a common visual cue. The color of one berry meant it was edible, another denoted poison. Throughout our evolution, humans have learned to recognize and respond to visual cues. Today, traffic signs combine color, shape, and symbols into a visual system that provides direction, tells us at a glance how we're doing, and supports standardizing of traffic flow. What would life be like without visual cues? In today's workplace, a system called 5S utilizes the benefits of visual cues to improve safety, reduce training time, and increase teamwork in any work setting. From manufacturing to healthcare, all work areas can benefit from 5S.
The difference between the way things looked in the emergency room before 5S and afterwards is amazing. It's incredible, the difference.
We talked with people at Harborview and St. Joseph's Healthcare Systems as they began to implement the 5S system.
Harborview is implementing 5S right now as part of a process improvement initiative, and we're really trying to look at streamlining processes and enhancing efficiencies so that we can overall affect our bottom line and see if we can improve patient care, improve outcomes, and improve financially as well.
Healthcare organizations are realizing the benefits from implementing the 5S system. The benefits include reduced search time and staff frustration, which allows more time to spend with patients. Essential items are relocated to the area in which they're used, and quantities are established with standard procedures to assure they never run out. When items are easy to find and always available, there's no need to hoard or hide extra items. The waste of materials and time is greatly reduced. All of this contributes to increasing the safety and care of patients. Because 5S is a visual system, training time is significantly reduced, and 5S creates ownership and responsibility for maintaining an organized workplace.
By using this 5S system, we were able to go ahead and get a number of things organized in a systematic way so that it was intuitive for folks. Now, that was intuitive for the nursing staff, it was intuitive for the techs, it was intuitive for the doctors. And so it decreased the amount of time that they had to spend in searching for items, and also in time away from the patients, and that's where we need them.
The first surprise was really how badly they needed something like this. I really didn't realize the extent to which they could not find anything and how much that was affecting their ability to care for patients.
If you're frustrated with something, I couldn't find that form the third time this week or something like that, that sometimes translates to patience.
If we didn't have something, there was no way of even trying to look for it. And now it's organized and put together, it's color-coded.
I think the bigger waste is really in time management. We have physicians and various members of the team hunting and searching and trying to find whether it's equipment, supplies, and it's amazing how much time is wasted, and time is money.
First and foremost, I think that all of that time that's reduced in search time and all the time that nurses spend doing things that aren't necessary is going to put the nurse at the bedside with the patient. And that's a benefit for the patient and the nurse, because that's where the nurses want to be. I really want to have people feel like they're working in an organized workplace, have an opportunity to do things efficiently with a minimum of frustrations, and really extend that to all of the people that visit the unit.
The 5S system is a visually oriented system used to create and maintain greater organization, efficiency, and safety, while reducing training time, search time, wasted time, and resources. The 5S system is applied by staff in their own workplace. It's simple and very effective. So where has 5S been used? Pharmacy, laboratory, materials management, supply areas, OR, emergency, pre-op, admitting, records, billing, credentialing offices, actually everywhere in the healthcare environment. What are the 5 S's? Sort. Separate the needed from the unneeded items. Simplify. Create a place for everything and a way to keep everything in its place. Sweep. Visually examine the work area to differentiate normal from abnormal conditions. Standardize. Document and use consistent work methods. And sustain. Hold the gains that have been established. To begin, an area of concern must first be clearly identified. It's helpful to ask, what are the areas of greatest frustration for staff or patients? Where do we find ourselves wasting time searching for things rather than doing the essential work of caring for patients? Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, Washington has applied 5S in their pharmacy and nursing units. Objectives for improvement are identified, team members from the work area are selected, and the work begins.
I envision a cleaner place where things don't magically disappear.
Time presently spent fumbling around looking for items that ought to be right within our reach in the first place will be spent instead thinking about screening for drug interactions, things like that.
Let's see these 5 S's in action. The teams focus on the work objectives, applying each of the 5 S's to their situation. A 5S coach works with the team to train and guide them through the process and facilitate implementation. The team reviews the objectives and criteria of the activity, clarifies the boundaries, and establishes roles before beginning with the first of the 5 S's, sort. The first S, sort, has the team identifying and separating needed from unneeded items in the work area. As documentation begins, you may notice that things look fairly clean and well organized on the surface. But as you look more closely, here's what you'll find. Items you use frequently are mixed in with items you rarely or never use. Other items may be hard to find or found in multiple locations that are not convenient to their point of use. You may learn that important items have been hoarded or hidden in an effort to have access to the most needed or hard-to-find items. How accurate and efficient do you think it is to work in this type of environment? As team members work to sort, they touch each item to evaluate as keep, toss, or red tag. The team establishes criteria to help determine which items to keep in the work area.
What about having all this stuff out at the counseling desk, and that's the only place that we have hard copies of it?
Immediately move unneeded items out of the area. Toss items of no value in the trash or recycle bins. Red tag items that are not needed in your area but may be useful in other areas. Red tags designate items of value to be auctioned off to other work areas. Move red tag items into a designated area. When the sorting activities are complete, it's time to hold an auction and invite other areas to find useful treasures.
For our first auction item, we have an in-out board who will give me 5.
The goal of the auction is to find a place for useful items. Another work area gets what they need, and your area alleviates clutter. Remember, all auctioned items must leave the area immediately, and leftover items must be tossed, recycled, or given away. The last thing the team does as part of the sorting phase is to take action to eliminate areas or structures that are prone to clutter. Eliminating horizontal spaces such as shelving that is no longer needed and redesigning areas where clutter can hide, such as cabinets with doors, are effective methods. After the sort is complete, the team simplifies by creating a place for everything that is needed in the work area and a way to keep everything in its place. When needed items are not easy to find, time is wasted in searching, and staff frustration results.
But I don't know where it is. I hate this. This happens to me. It's like my dad asked me to go find the hammer. I never could find the hammer.
Somebody thoughtfully gave me the wrong size lids.
2 minutes are spent searching for a frequently used item. Imagine the time wasted when you multiply those 2 minutes by the number of people searching, then again by the number of times per day. The time and frustration quickly adds up. What would it be like to always find exactly what you need, exactly where you need it, and exactly when you need it?
Sharpies to write RTS on the bottles. Bulldog clips for clipping oversized will call.
During Simplify, the team identifies a location for each item to be stored. The team considers locations that are close to the point of use, ergonomically friendly, and organized according to frequency of use. Once items are assigned a dedicated location, the team finds ways to keep the items in their place by outlining and labeling the locations. Par levels are determined, and simplifying techniques are applied to labeling and managing the amount needed. The results are incredible.
This area especially is working really well. Now that we have most of the color coding of the bins done,
the work that has been done in sorting and simplifying will allow you to sweep, the third S. Sweep is the systematic use of visual controls to identify at a glance normal and abnormal work conditions. When staff can't see or immediately find the items they need, they tend to overstock and even hoard to make sure they have the equipment and supplies to do their job. Creating a visual work area shows everyone at a glance what is in place and what specific action is needed. Teams get creative in their use of color coding and other visual cues to locate and designate where and how items can quickly be found.
When you start, before you start working, do a visual sweep, replace everything that we've run out of.
Once the work area is well organized and stocked, it's time to agree on and document the standard work area procedures. Standardize is to document and use consistent work methods. When new work methods are created for an area, standards are put in place so that everyone understands and uses the same system. Standard work methods are especially beneficial when they're used throughout the organization.
so what we have here is our clinical forms that are color-coded, and what we have on the drawer is a manifest that shows you which forms, what colors correspond to which forms. All the physician's forms are in yellow. The most highly used forms, once again, are at eye level. And then we have backup forms in the drawer, which are also color-coded, corresponding to the manifest.
This unit is one that will get things standardized and streamlined here so that things will work better. And broader than that, I really hope that we can then take this project and take it to the other floors. And at least so we can get the clear floors here at Harborview so that it's easy to find things whenever I go from place to place. That would cut down my frustration level immensely.
In this physician's workroom, standard workstations contain critical and most frequently used items: computer, phone, contact list, forms, and other essential work items.
I would say my efficiency of just finding things is a lot easier, and just needing some of the things that I normally would have to run out of the room and get are now within an arm's reach away.
Sustaining, the fifth S, holds the gains established with the other four S's.
You really have to monitor it constantly and have people that are key stakeholders involved that will follow through and assess and audit every week or every month like clockwork.
So Clarice, how did the 5S audit go today?
Everything was great.
Additional procedures are created to audit the area on a daily basis. For this nursing unit, it means performing a visual sweep before each shift, identifying the abnormal conditions based on a standard check sheet, and taking corrective action immediately.
That's really important for us to maintain the gains.
You're welcome.
Sustaining also includes posting 5S information and progress on a 5S communication board, which is placed in an area accessible to all staff.
I really like the idea of the ESTs ordering them and supplying them.
And finally, sustaining means that frequent or large-scale problems are routinely discussed to identify root causes and corrective actions. Existing standard work may be needed, or plans made for additional 5S activity. Time to charter another team. By now you've seen that 5S is more than just another cleanup. It's a system of continuous improvement for smoother handoffs, reduced search time, and increased safety and satisfaction for both patients and staff. 5S is driven by the work area team and is supported by area management and administration. Team members make the decisions about the best way to organize, locate, quantify, standardize, and sustain. By completing the 5S process, you'll enable better outcomes for everyone and lay the foundation for further improvements. Best of all, you'll create the workplace that allows everyone to do the work they're there to do. Care for patients.